What's up, guys? It's your boy Dekkster here, and I'm going to be talking about the top decks of the month for October. These decks are going to be based off stats from Vicious Syndicate, so be sure to go to their website. They'll be linked below, and just read up on their articles that they write. It's really quality stuff. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just really appreciate what they do. So yeah, be sure to check them out. All right, so first off, let's look at the archetype distribution. We can see that Rogue is taking the lead here. Tempo Rogue being the most popular. Miracle Rogue kind of falling off a little bit. Not doing too well in this meta, I guess. Or it's just that Tempo Rogue is so much better. Why would you play Miracle over it? Second up, we got Rizakis Priest. And then Big Priest still seeing some play, but Rizakis Priest kind of seems to be that number 2 deck right below Tempo Rogue. Next up, we got Hunter. Mid-range Hunter, still doing pretty solid. It does fall off at, towards Legend and rank 5+, but just looking at all ranks here, mid-range Hunter, very solid still. And then we have Zoo Warlock and Control Warlock, both being pretty popular. Zoo Warlock starting to come up a little more powerful than people thought it was. It's definitely doing good. It's doing well with the Prince Keleseth, but I don't know about you guys. For me, sometimes it feels a little bit reliant on Prince Keleseth, whereas with Rogue, Tempo Rogue, you don't really need Keleseth to win. Yeah, it helps, but you don't need it. So I think Zoo Warlock might not be as popular because Tempo Rogue just seems like the way to go. Then next up, we got J-Druid, still doing good. Yeah, got hit with a little bit of nerfs, but J-Druid still very, very strong, probably tier 1. Right now, I think it's somewhere in tier 2, but it's still, I believe it's going to be up there. And then we have Token Shaman, still pretty popular. Token Shaman didn't really get hit by any of the nerfs. The nerfs only kind of weakened its competition, so Token Shaman's still doing good. If we're looking at class frequency, we can see that Rogue definitely shot up really high if we're looking on weeks. Yep, this week Rogue doing insanely well. Priest a little less popular just because Rogue, some of those Priest players switched to Rogue, but I'm still up there, Hunter's dropping pretty fast. Warlock shooting up once again with that Zoo archetype. But yeah, overall, Rogue is, you're going to see a lot of Rogues, guys. You're going to see a lot of Rogues. Okay, so let's take a look at the power rankings here. At all ranks, we can see that Rogue and Zoo Warlock are tier 1. And then top of tier 2, we got Aggro, Token Druid, Murloc Paladin, Token Shaman, and a lot of other decks. So a lot of decks doing well at all ranks, which is great. That's what we want. We want a well-diversified meta, right? When we switch to rank 5 to rank 1, kind of similar. Still a lot of decks being popular here. But tier 1 is only Tempo Rogue. Just doing really, really well in this ranking from 5 to 1. We also have Zoo Warlock performing very nicely. Aggro Token Druid and Rizakis Priest, of course, rounding up the top 3 there of tier 2. And then when we switch to legend ranks, all we see in tier 1, Tempo Rogue and Rizakis Priest. That's it. Those are the number 1 and 2 decks right there. J-Druid starting to look a little more promising once we look at just legend stats. Aggro Token Druid right behind J-Druid. Really close. And Pirate Warrior surprisingly doing pretty decent. Doing pretty decent there. But overall, if you're looking for a deck to carry you from rank 25 to legend, it's going to be Tempo Rogue and maybe Rizakis Priest, but most definitely Tempo Rogue's at the top for every single rank. So if you can only play one deck, you can only make one deck. I guess it's Tempo Rogue, guys. I guess it's Tempo Rogue. So Rogue seems to be the top deck right now, as you guys can tell by the power rankings. Tempo Rogue has a lot of cool different lists. You can run a lot of different things in here, and they all seem to do pretty well. You can even run a list without Keleseth, such as, I think it's Kagomi's or Kagom's, I don't know how to say his name, but he hit rank 1 legend with this list that cuts Keleseth. And as I was saying before, you don't really need Keleseth to do well with this. It does help a lot, and if you do end up drawing Keleseth on 2, it's almost a guaranteed win, but you don't need him. You don't need them. So this one instead is running 2 Eviscerates and Golakka Crawler. Golakka Crawler is really good at this meta because because of all the tempo rogues. You can eat their patches, their burglars, their deckhands. So here's one if you want to cut Keleseth. You don't want to craft Keleseth, but you got the other cards. Go ahead and run this one. And then we also got Muzzy's Hydra Tempo Rogue. He plays Bittertide Hydras in this list, obviously, hence the name. I'm kind of a big fan of the Cobalt Scalebanes instead of the Hydras, but do whatever you want. Try them both out. They're both solid lists for sure. And this one does revolve around Prince Keleseth. So be sure to check out both of these Tempo Rogues. They're both amazing, and there's a lot of other Tempo Rogues floating around out there. So just be sure to mess around, find the one that fits your playstyle. But this deck is kind of insane right now. So next up, we're going to be talking about Rizakis Priest. It's just got so many good archetypes. My personal favorite is the Circle Rizakis variation, where it runs a much earlier curve. It has Circle of Healing as well as Auchenide to kind of deal with early aggression that you may see. It's also got the Pint-Sized Potion and Shadow Word Horror combo, and it just focuses on cycling through your cards to get to your Anduin Raza combo, so you can pretty much win the game from there on out. We do also have the standard Rizakis Priest, which kind of cuts the circle combo and has a little bit of a heavier curve, running things like Cabal, Shadow Priest, but it kind of has the same win condition, where you want your Anduin and you want your Raza. So you could just start hitting them in the face. But I don't know. I think Circle might be a little bit better. But try both of them out. See which one fits your playstyle. Druid had to change a lot because of the nerfs to Innervate. People kind of had to adjust their lists. I've personally been enjoying the Derpy Trollers Pilfered Aggro Token Druid. The thought process behind this deck is that you can get minions out pretty easily. So maybe by turn 3, turn 4, you play a Pilfered Power, and you end up getting 3 or 4 mana crystals, and then maybe on the next turn you can go for a Bone Mare, or you can go for an Ultimate Infestation. And if you do end up being able to get off an Ultimate Infestation by turn 5 or 6, then you have your handful of really cheap cards. You can just throw them on the board. The opponent can't deal with them, and you kind of just win. You kind of just win like that. We also have some cool Jade archetypes here. I kind of like Cassie, I'm sorry, I still don't know how to say it. Cassie's Anti-Priest Jade Druid, hence the name. It's really good against Priest, and it's kind of a similar Jade package. It just cuts the Innervates because they kind of suck now. But anyway, there's this list, and then there's also the Fast Jade Druid made by Jab. This one's pretty cool. It has a lot more early aggression tools, such as the Enchanted Raven, Druid of the Swarm, Golakka Crawlers to deal with all the Tempo Rogues. So definitely 2 cool Jade lists if you're looking to play either of those. I'd definitely give those a shot. So in my opinion, the coolest Warlock archetype is the Zoo Warlock archetype, just because it's so fresh, it's so new. And Jinja Ninja, it's a funny name. Jinja Ninja finished number 22 Legend with Noblord's Zoo Warlock. This one focuses mostly on early control, which Zoo kind of tends to do. But this one even more so because it's running Glacial Shards and Forbidden Ritual, which is kind of insane. Usually lists don't run those. There's Hot Meowths, which is a really cool Pirate Zoo Warlock archetype. It's got Crystal Weavers, which is... they're just a bunch of fun. They're a bunch of fun, and you're going to have a ton of minions. So you combine your Crystal Weavers with your Blood Imps, with your Flame Imps, with your Malkazar's Imps, your Void Walkers, and it ends up giving you a lot of value. Also, you could just drop it on turn 4, and it's just a decent body right there. So definitely enjoying the Zoo Warlock archetype. If you're looking for some cool Zoo Warlock lists, look into these guys. Look into these ones. So Hunter is kind of the same as it's been for a while now with the mid-range package. Nothing too fresh about this. It's kind of not doing too well due to the Tempo Rogues. Tempo Rogues kind of just demolish it a little bit. So I guess people are just playing that over Hunter, which makes sense. You can't really compete with them. The main difference between the different Hunter lists right now is your early drops. Maybe you're running the Pirates. Maybe you're running Firefly. Maybe you're running Hungry Crab. I personally don't think Hungry Crab's that great because I'm not seeing a lot of Murlocs myself. So I would prefer to run Pirates or Firefly, but because there's a lot of crawlers floating around right now, maybe you want to go with Firefly over the Pirates. I don't know, maybe you don't have patches and you want to go a little more budget, so you go with Firefly. But once again, it's pretty much the same as it's been for a while. It's always going to be a decent list. It's not going to be tier 1. It's not going to be tier 1, but it'll always be decent. It's always there if you're looking for, you know, a budget option. So Mage is seeming to plummet in popularity and just success, which kind of makes me sad. I had high hopes for Mage after the patch, but I guess it's not doing as well as people had expected. My personal favorite list for Mage right now is Eloise's Hydra Secret Mage. It does have difficulty dealing with Rogue, and that'll kind of hold it back, but it is good against Priest, and it is good against Jade Druid if you are seeing those lists, but so is Rogue. So I guess Rogue is just better to play. But anyways, this list is really cool. It runs the secret package, obviously, and then we got Bittertide Hydras. Nothing too fancy, but Bittertide Hydra helps you seal out the game early. Hopefully your opponent can't deal with it, and you kind of just win out from there. We also have Show's Control Mage. Show's Control Mage, pretty cool. He did some decent climbing earlier on in the month. It's a good list. It's a good list. It has some potential. Once again, I don't think it performs as well as Secret Mage, but it does do decent. Try it out if you have all the cards. It definitely is expensive, coming in at almost 11,000 dust. So definitely don't craft this one, but try it out if you have the cards. But yeah, Secret Mage is cheaper and just seems to perform a lot better in this current meta. As for Shaman, sadly, it seems like its only viable archetype is the standard token list. Nothing's really changed. It's kind of the same as it's been for a while. I was hoping there were going to be more mid-range shamans and control shaman archetypes sort of emerging, but it seems like it's just going to be the standard token list. So check this one out. Things you can mess around with is maybe swapping one devolve for a Serenite Chain Gang. That seems to be the biggest choice there. Other than that, the list is kind of standard. Yeah, that's about it. Nothing too exciting with Shaman, unfortunately. So Paladin hasn't really changed at all. It's Murloc Paladin, still #1. The Warleader got a little bit of a nerf, but he's still going to be run in every single Murloc Paladin list. It's still a great card, still a great archetype. Just a little bit weaker than it was pre-nerf. So that's going to be probably your #1 Paladin list. There is also a decent control Paladin list floating around from Wabeka here. It's pretty cool. It runs Uther and Deathwing, Tyrion, a lot of expensive cards. It costs 11,000 dust, but definitely a cool control Paladin archetype if you're looking for some action with your Uther or something like that. But I definitely would not craft that one if you're tight on dust. But it's an interesting list for Paladin for sure. As for Warrior, it seems like all classes got hit really hard by the Fiery War Axe nerf, and oddly enough, Pirate Warrior is still the strongest archetype. We're just dropping every 2-drop and instead running Prince Kelseth. We still have the War Axes in there. Even nerfed to their 3 mana, they still seem to perform pretty well. So this list by ZLSJS is probably the best Warrior list right now. I wish there was a control variant that was good, but there isn't. It's just Pirate Warrior, sadly. So that's about it for all the different archetypes. As far as the list I'm going to be playing, I'm probably going to be playing some more Pilfered Aggro Token Druid. I've really been enjoying that archetype. Maybe I'll play a little bit more Rogue just because it's doing so well on ladder if I really want to, you know, go try hard or something like that. If you guys are looking for something budget, unfortunately, it seems like most of the decks that are doing really well right now are like 10,000 plus dust. So the normal answers for budget lists are probably just going to be something like Hunter, like Fenno's mid-range Hunter, and Secret Mage. Those just seem to be the cheapest bang for your buck deck lists, or bang for your dust, whatever. But that's about it, guys. Thanks again to Vicious Syndicate for all the data and everything. And I hope you guys enjoyed this little report. Please like, sub, and share. And yeah, follow me on Twitch. It's linked below. And that's it, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.